So in order for this to occur, first of all, nucleus has to copy, right? So nucleus has to duplicate. Duplication of DNA. So that has to occur, all right? So what's the most important about the cell is that you carry that same DNA information, okay, to the daughter cell, all right? So you have to duplicate the DNA, and then you separate, you divide. You have to divide, division of nucleus. Okay? And then number 3, after you divide the nucleus, also the cytoplasm has to divide as well. So division of cytoplasm. Okay? So this is a general step to the cell division. Okay? So when you're talking about cell division, we actually talk about 2 different cell division types. Okay? So we talk about mitosis. Okay? Mitosis is what we just talked about, okay? So in our body cells, okay, especially for skin or heart cells or liver cells, these are all like converting the old cell with the new cell, okay, in a regular life cycle, okay? So in doing that, the exact same cell actually replaces the old cell, right? So when doing that, they go through mitosis. So this is for the somatic cell, which is the body cell in our body, okay? So all the cells that is dividing actually goes through the mitotic process, okay? But another cell division in our body is meiosis, okay? So this especially occurs in reproductive organ. Okay? So meiosis actually produces, it doesn't really produce the daughter cell, which is the same as the preceding cell, but this forms the gametes, okay, which is the sex cells. All right, so meiosis is to actually produce gametes like sperms, okay? So those ones are produced as a result of meiosis, okay? So the resulting cell of this is not going to be the same as preceding cell because it's not replacing the old cell, but it produces a gamete, okay? It produces sperm or oocyte, okay? So that this can actually go through fertilization later, okay? So now we're going to focus on mitosis for the first part of this chapter, okay? All right, so when you go to page 77, we're going to talk about the general structure of chromosome first, okay? So on page 77, it talks about briefly about the mitosis, right? So mitosis functions in the growth and repair of body cells. It produces 2 genetically identical daughter cells, right? And the meiosis occurs in sexually reproducing organisms, okay? So it produces gametes with half of the chromosome number of the parent cell, okay? We'll talk about more of meiosis later. All right, so when you're talking about chromosome, okay? So remember when we're talking about the nucleus, right? Okay? So this is the nucleus in a cell, all right? So remember we talked about the chromatin network, okay? So DNA actually is present in the form of chromatin network in non-dividing cell. Okay? Non-dividing cell, okay? So note that the cell is not always dividing, okay? So it has a cycle where it is dividing at some point, and after that, it's not dividing, okay? So if the cell is at a stage where it's not dividing, then you don't see any chromosomes. So no chromosomes, but you only see the chromatin network, okay? But if the cell becomes ready to actually divide, then the DNA actually condenses into a chromosome form, okay? So this kind of structure, this, okay, this. All right, so in human, you have 23 pairs of chromosomes like this. So 23 pairs of chromosomes can be shown inside the nucleus when this is actually ready to divide, dividing cell. Okay?